Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about defensive tips and tricks. So as you can see, I've cleared out my defense and I've cleared out my path, and it is just one big straight road. This is pretty much what you have in the very beginning. You have a straight road from your castle down to your starting point. One of the best things about this game is that you can test your defense. So it will show you your troop combination up there, what you're defending with, and it'll show the towers. Since there's no towers, it shows nothing. So you can test your defense. You can go boom, test defense. So you can see how your defense holds up against yourself when you attack. And you should be a pretty good attacker. So, you should barely be able to beat your base or lose to your base if you have a really, really strong defense. It just depends on how you place your buildings, what your strategy is, if you're trying to actually defend mainly all the way, or if you're just trying to protect your castle gate and get like a 90% loss. Because even a 90% loss can still earn you some trophies, depending on how strong the opponent is. So you can see that was really simple. I had no tower, so I came in there and just slaughtered. So the first thing is you're always going to be testing your base to see how good it is. And you also have to remember some people are going to spam the scrolls as well. So the cool thing is when you test your base, you can use the scrolls for free. So it won't cost you anything. So in this game, you can draw a little finger and make roads and paths. If you want to convert it back, you just make a straight line. So I made a curve there. Now I want to make it a straight line again because I don't want that. So that's really cool. Over here we have ruins, and these things are in your way. You have to pick them up to build. They cost gems to pick them up, and they keep going up and up and up. In one of my other games, they're at like 200 gems to remove one of them. So it's pretty ridiculous. So I'm no expert on defenses. I haven't played that much. I'm only Throne Room 5, and I don't have a lot of defensive structures. I do have a lot of experience attacking good defenses, so I can give you a general idea. And from what I've found is that you want to have curves, obviously. You want to curve your base in some sort of way, but you also have to factor in these runes and try and build around them, because obviously you don't have a ton of gems. You don't have unlimited gems to get rid of all your runes, and each game is different. Each map is generated with different runes in different areas. So I may have runes right here, you may have runes right here. So each map is different, so you really have to pick and choose which ones you want to pick up. I believe they start off at 10 gems to remove, and then they go to 15, and then they go to 20, and then they go to 25. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove this to show you. So 25 gems, confirm. And then the next one, it costs 50 gems to remove. So we'll go ahead and remove that one too, because I want to have the space available up here. So I'm going to redo that, make it a straight line. And another thing I've noticed is that think of it as like a tug of war. This is where you start, this is where all your troops spawn, and this is where all the defensive troops spawn. So your troops are trying to get to the defense, to the castle. But wouldn't it be smarter to actually have a defense built like around your castle wall here, so then your troops from the castle gate can come out right away, and then they can fight the enemies rather than having to walk all the way down. So what I've figured out was that it's best to build a defense around your castle gate over here. So we're going to go ahead and build an archer tower, or use an archer tower. I already have these built. We're going to put a bomb tower there. And you want to put bomb towers on like the corner, because you can see it taps the edge right here. So that means it'll hit people in that area as well. I'm going to go ahead and put another archer tower over here. And then I'm going to put the, well, I don't have the gargoyle tower, so this is a good example. I only have bomb towers and archer towers, and I don't have enough money to buy a gargoyle tower. It costs 250,000. The gargoyle towers are really, 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 really good. If you can get these, this comes at Throne Room 5, and you have to unlock in your Inventor's Workshop up to level 6. Those are the best towers currently in the game at level 5. They cost a lot of money. They cost 250,000, but they burn everything and they have a ton of HP. You can also see weakness and resistance on the towers. So you select it, and instead of use, you just click on the tower, and it'll bring up a stats bar. And so this is something a lot of people I don't think know. You may realize that the archer tower dies really easy to fire, and all you kill it really, really quick. But the reason is because it's 300% weakness to fire. So that means, you're doing triple damage, or I believe it's 4 times damage to fire, because you'll see things that say 100% weakness, and that will mean double damage. And then you'll see things that say 200% weakness, that will mean an additional 200 damage. So if it says 700, you'll be doing 2100. So this one says 300, so if it does 700, you'll be doing 2800 damage to it. And that's about what the fire spell does, is 700 damage. So you can see one fire spell pretty much does half of the archer tower's life. So that may be explaining to you why you can just burn through those guys really quick, because fire does obviously burn through wood. Like I said, we're going to build a defensive structure up around here. We're going to put a, saying that you can check out the barricade. The barricade is weak to fire. It's weak to blunts. But most people use the knights. So, then it shows you all your barricades that you have made. So we'll go ahead and put that down. Oh, and see, it's showing me because it's already being upgraded over there. I'm going to put that down up 1. So I'll move it back there. I'm going to build my road over this way. Do a long path just like that. Because another thing that I've noticed is that when you have a road like this, you can set up ranged troops like archers, mages, pyromancers, things like that, and they can sit over in the corner here, and then they can pound away at all the soldiers, because your hero is going to be running like this, and then your soldiers are going to come up reinforcement because you're constantly tapping to summon more, and they're going to get picked off by archers, by ice mages, pyromancers, and then a lot of times you should put a bomb tower on the corner, because it's very good. It does splash damage, and it'll hit this section right there, and that, but it's going to focus on this first because that's where all the units are going to be. So then, can't put anything there because there's a rune. So then I'm just going to start adding more towers. I do have a frost tower. The frost tower is very, very bad. I don't recommend getting these towers at all. They do ice damage, which slows people down, but as you can see, they're a weak to fire 100%, and they only have 2,300 life, so they die really, really quick. The water towers are good for spikes, though, because if you put them down and then you put a spike down in front of them, the knights are going to try and attack the spike, or try and attack the water tower, and they're going to take continuous spike damage because they don't attack these spikes. So I'm going to add archer or arrow towers over here. So I don't think I have any more bomb towers. Check. I do have one more. And then so what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to put a blockade, and the blockades are really good. They don't have as much life as the barricades, because the barricades got upgraded to I think level 8 now, and they're really cheap to upgrade. The blockades have 3,600 life, and they're not weak to really anything. They're weak to blunt and ice, and I've not found that any strong ice moves. I mean, you have the ice mage in the beginning, but he does like 30 or 40 damage. So even if the guy does 100% extra, so that's 60 damage a second to this thing, it's not going to be as effective as using just knights. So 3,600 has quite a bit of life, and it's not weak to fire, which is great. So we'll put that down. They do cost a lot more than the wooden ones, obviously. These and the arrow towers are the very cheapest things. They upgrade really quick, and you'll be getting the arrow towers in the first level of the game. You have to actually upgrade, I think, to Town Hall or Throne Room 2 to get the bomb towers. You do want a good mix of bomb towers and arrow towers in the beginning. Eventually, you'll start weeding off your arrow towers, and you'll be putting more gargoyle towers and bomb towers and the crossbow tower. That one is extremely, extremely powerful, and once you can get the crossbow towers, pretty much you'd start replacing your arrow towers with that. That tower can only be hit by range moves, and no melee can hit it. And that's a very, very big factor. So you can put it up in the corner here, and it'll be able to range and shoot like all these tiles over here, and you won't be able to hit it with anything except spells once you get over to this square. So it's going to have a lot of survivability. It's going to stay alive a long, long time. Whereas these guys are going to burn. Oops. So we'll go ahead and grab our other barricade. You typically don't want to put things bunched too close together, because if you go in this corner right here, you can burn this barricade as well. And like I said, 2 fire spells will burn and take that down. And you also, like, if you put it there, same thing, it burns. So I might want to move this up one and then move that there. On the side here, I'm going to put a water tower, since I believe I'm out of everything else. And I have some spikes, which I like spikes at this stage of the game. And you upgrade the spikes, they have 2,000 life, which is a decent amount. It takes a couple special moves from your hero. Resistance to normal, so it's resistant to your hero's basic attacks, and also the knights, but the knights don't attack it, so it doesn't matter. It's resistant to piercing, which is the arrows and archers. Archers, I believe, will attack the spikes. We'll move that over there, because what we're going to do is we want the no, we'll actually move it up on this side. We want the knights to run into it. So it looks like we have a few more things to put up. Let's see what we have left. We have a lot more spikes, so spikes. Some more spikes there. So that's all the towers I have. I have a couple more curves I could do. You do want to use up all your movement things. So I'm going to go ahead and just curve it over here. And I still have 2 more, so I'm going to go ahead and curve it again. And the reason being is now you make a curve there, so like your troops, if you have archers and ranged troops that are coming down, because they start off like here or here, you'll see once you upgrade your castle guard, your troops, you get a lot of them, and they spawn fairly quickly. So they start off, like here, like different waves. And so then the archers can sit back there if you push them back. And then it also just harder for people